Hello there. Only one Kenobi here. Only one. Do you know what? I'm a little bit starstruck here. We have all 5 of the guests backstage as we speak. I'm going to pull them in one by one. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vulcanic's Playground. Hey, Joe,
Hello.
man. What's up, man?
Pretty good. How you doing? Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, a pleasure, man. Let's bring on the next one. Thanks for joining us. We've got, an international cast here. It's 10 p.m. in the UK. What time is it with you, Joe?
It's 5 p.m.
So you're in New York City?
Yeah, no, New York, yep.
Yeah, New York. And so it's 5 p.m. Eastern time. Then we're going to go to 6:30 in the bloody morning with the Forces with Jesse. My God, Jesse, thanks so much for doing this, man.
No problems at all, my friend. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Man, thank you for doing this, making this happen. The early bird catches the worm. And then that brings us to not that he's a worm. He is, ladies and gentlemen, he comes from somewhere between the dark side of the moon and a galaxy far, far away. The King of Kenner, the AFA graded heavyweight champion of the world, the BOE, the Blacked Out Ewoks.
Oh wow! I don't think I can live up to that, but thank you.
Do my intro again.
Okay. Become more of a legend, Jesse. Come on, you need to work to get that status.
I'll work hard. Speaking
of legends, here's another guy, and it is 8 o'clock in the morning, I believe, with him. It is Flyguy from Flyguy.net. Yo, man.
That was quite an introduction you give Black Ewoks, I have to say. That was that was pretty cool, man.
Well, man, there you go. That's all. It's all part of the show. Anyway, so yeah, thank you, Steve, as well for helping us and coming and joining us today.
Pleasure.
So it's at 8 o'clock. Am I right?
Yes, 8 a.m. for 7 a.m. for me. So,
oh my God, man. So I owe you each one, fellas. I'll have to get out of bed and do it the other way around. Awesome. So as I said in the hang on a minute, and thank you whoever's watching. I'm not even on the chat. Let's see who's there. We've got loads of people. Got Tomb Toys already, Bosk's Bounty, Salacious Rum, Tim Bainbridge, Steve Norris, GA. Now, GA, I said in the chat earlier, your Tonica Sisters customs were amazing. So if you want to see them, go to Tim from Bosk's Bounty's channel and see the Tonica Sisters customs that he sent Tim. Awesome. Really, really good.
Have we got another in the... apparently, we've got another in the backstage.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God, who were we missing? Oh my God, Darth Phoenix 619. I've got a bit confused there because I knew there was 5. It was me and 5 others. I'm seeing 5 on the screen. I thought this was the full house. There he is, man. Good God. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. How very embarrassing. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Darth Phoenix 619.
See, it's been that long, only one. You already
Tony.
forgot. Hello, everyone.
I'm sorry, man.
Hi, Tony. How are you?
No worries. I got on here really late. I've been all over the place today, and no worries at all. Happy to be here. Hello to everyone.
Cool, man. I can't even use the excuse that it's too early in the morning because that's not me. It's 10 p.m. Maybe I could argue that it's too late.
It's too late.
Yeah. So, yeah. We've got Universal Collector as well in the chat. Hi there, Matt and Ryan Byrne, Bradley Harvey, Darth Emmett, Death Star 1973. Hi there, Jared, man, and the Woke Lord 229. He's doing the rounds. And the Blacked Out Ewoks as well. There we have. So anyway, I called the title of this stream. I called it the YouTube Legend stream. It's a bit, that term legends goes, thrown around a lot or whatever. But somebody did say in the chat recently in one of my videos, they said, they're pioneers, almost. Because you guys, I suppose, are pioneers of Star Wars collecting. So probably best if we all go around and maybe just sort of introduce ourselves and talk about who we are and how long we've been around and stuff. Who would like to go first? I should really make that decision myself as host, but why don't we start with last in, first speak. Tony, Darth Phoenix. Let's start with you, man.
All right. So I am Tony, Darth Phoenix 619, and I started YouTube. God, I think this is 2012. It was just a little bit after my daughter was born. And I was very active for about 5 or 6 years. I have not been active the last few years. I still watch a lot of videos. I'm still on here watching quite a bit of people and commenting here and there. I'm more active on Instagram than anything. But yeah, my focus was mostly had been 3 3/4 inch, you know, all lines, mostly modern. That's always been my favorite. Still is my favorite, modern 3 3/4 inch line. And I did dive into the Black Series 6-inch, did a little bit of reviews, but been wanting to jump back in the game for YouTube, but just haven't yet. I just need to take that dive there. But life keeps me busy with a 10-year-old and work and whatnot. So it's just been, I just see myself tired at the end of the day, and I just want to watch videos, not make them. But maybe one of these days. But it's great to be on here. Maybe this will be my first, dive back into it or whatnot. But that's a little bit about me.
That's awesome. When it came to YouTube, I remember I went to Forbidden Planet in around 2011, and I remember seeing a few things. That's when I discovered the vintage collection or whatever. I saw the Carbacks, instantly recognized the style, and then I went home and I saw Flyguy. To be honest, you were the first guy I saw on YouTube. But then that led to you, Tony, because I was looking into figures, and one of the reviews you did was of Dooku, which is one we desperately need still in 3. That one there, 3 3/4 inch. That is from the, you must excuse my crap camera, by the way. That's from the Blu-ray commemorative pack for Attack of the Clones. And the exact same sculpt as this guy. This came in the Sith Evolutions. Oh, but won't be too difficult. It won't be too difficult for them to craft another Dooku or a proper one for TVC.
Yeah, I think my review was the one from that 4-pack, and it's amazing how much traction my videos get still to this day, especially with Sith characters. I'll type in a Sith character like Revan or Plagueis, and it's just amazing. It's one of the first ones. So I'm lucky that's they're still getting views after this many years and whatnot. So
awesome.
Yeah. So and I was inspired by the Force with Jesse. He was one of the ones that I first met on here. And I think it was one of his reviews I first saw, and it was coincidence. My very first review, I think, was his very first review, and it just happened to be coincidence, which was Star Killer, the Sith Apprentice one with the Sith Stalker armor. And then from there, the rest is history. I got to meet quite a few people, and still to this day. So
cool, man. I was going to say, you've got a massive Sith collection, and I'm still after what's he called, Exar Kun at some point in the future. That would be awesome.
Only one I'm missing too.
Speaking of which, let's talk now to Joe Vulcanic. How are you doing, Joe?
Good. How are you doing?
Cool, man. Tell us about yourself, man.
My name is Joe. I've been doing the Star Wars channel for about 6-7 years now. Flyguy, Darth Phoenix, Matawaba, Jedi Budget were my ones that inspired me to do it.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty fun. I got into it more because like when YouTube was first coming out and stuff, a lot of the Star Wars collectors back in the day, we had to go like swap sheets, conventions. There was, it wasn't easy to find Star Wars toys back in the day, and it was when YouTube came out, and I ever seen people doing the stuff on Star Wars. It just opened up a new door, and it was a way to meet new people and stuff. It, was really fun getting to know everybody and having fun with it all.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's the thing. I never thought I'd ever do my own channel. I used to see these guys, and it's amazing. It's like it opens your eyes. It thinks, it makes you think, wow, there's people out there equally minded, with extensive collections and stuff. And speaking of which, if we can come to you, Flyguy, man, and my earliest memories, as I say, I saw you on a trip back from the Forbidden Planet, and that collection room you have. I don't know if you're still in the same place.
No.
Oh man, the beautiful, was it mahogany floors or whatever they were?
Yeah, it was. Everybody's like, screw the guy that's reviewing them and the toys. It's like, show me your display. I like these guys again, same thing. I mean, Sith Lord 229 was probably my kind of influence, like 2008 or something, 2009, whenever it was I joined. And so yeah, the only reason people know me is because I'm an old fart and I've been around forever. But that's principally it. But yeah, again, like you guys, we there's a lot of grey hairs or some grey hairs in here, so we all grew up in
cut mine today.
the Carbacks behind you. And that was it. It just, the mental addiction just started from there on, and collected. And then, when the vintage collection came out, that was just the excuse to go back and get them all again. Things have kind of changed for me a little bit. You probably know, and I've kind of veered away a little because the line's kind of gone a bit skew-iff to me. But still love them, and I still can't resist them. And retro's still a, it's that card back. It's all about cardboard. I see sometimes I am literally a cardboard collector, not really a toy collector. Because as cool as the figures are, it's all about that card back for me. So
yeah, that was one of the things we were going to talk about later. What we've transitioned into. I know, Steve. Flyguy, you've definitely transitioned more into 6-inch with. You got the 6-inch show, but I know your heart is most likely still with 3 3/4
for sure. I still love TBC. Absolutely. I mean, it was where it all started forever ago. So yeah, still absolutely. Thank you.
And you know what I mean? And back when I saw your channel as well, I one of the things you used to say was, I'm an opener. I'm an opener. And I thought to myself, I am as well. And I thought, why would anybody keep anything carded? You can't display it and blah, blah, blah. But then look at this. I mean, 2015, I got 1 or 2 cards. And then now I've got, everything really, bar a few variants. But you can't beat it. And also this packaging, the bubble, you can see all around the figure. You've got a beautiful snapshot from the film. You can't go wrong with it.
Totally.
You can't go wrong with it, man. And very quickly, Steve, I've got to show you this. One of the videos I used to love. You had a great series. Yeah. What a great figure that is, man. I mean, and the quality, it's nice to see. Say again.
It's still a great figure today. It's still one of the better figures. Yeah.
And it works so much better like that. He came with a little thing, like a torch, like a kind of a. That was rubbish. It wasn't even screen accurate, but I've just put him in the hand. So thanks for the inspiration for that one. But yeah, brilliant figure. They need to sort out the phase 2 of the other figures in the line. In fact, that Bad Batch line they've released now, or they're going to do, they still haven't sorted out that goddamn bucket for the.
I know.
Yeah,
I think they're just reusing the mold to get some extra cash out of it. But pretty shocking.
That's appalling because they've had since 2005 to sort that one out. But anyway, so where are we up to now? Oh, Jesse, you're now on my. You're right. You're now on my. I can't get me origin. Forget that. He's there. There. Jesse, how you doing, man? Early bird.
I'm doing very well.
So how long have you been on YouTube now, Jess?
Oh, I'd be 10.5 years uploading. Probably a little bit longer than that as a lurker in the early days, back when I first joined. I blame 3 people wholly and solely: Sith Lord 229, Daniel East 1000, and the Darth Prime. And not long after that was that guy there, Flyguy. I blame him as well. I sort of got right into. He did a podcast 10 years ago with Wit, Boring Conversation Anyway. So that used to really sort of pull me in. And it's been ever since. It's been empty wallets and empty bank accounts and rooms full of plastic. So I wouldn't change it for the world.
I saw your room the other day, and the barge, the way you set up the barge is just stunning. Anyway, sorry. It's really cool.
Awesome. So that's great. And yeah, Jesse, probably equally, I have been following you. You all kind of fit in together one way or another. That's why I see you as the original posse. But you were one of the first people, you and Victoria's Cantina, because I started my channel to, when they re-announced the vintage collection, it was coming back. It was 2017. I thought, well, what could we or should we need? What do we need? What do we need in the line? So I was sort of speculating, and now I do reviews and stuff like that. But anyway, you were one of the first people I saw that had, a top 20 list of, figures that we need in. And I should have got you to have a look at that again so we could have a talk about what's still on there that they haven't done. But I know that Cy Snootles was one of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's just a wild character, and it should be on a card back, really.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. And I can't remember what else did you choose? You choose Anakin as well. Attack of the Clones Anakin.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember. I still get comments on a couple of those really old, like top 20 videos that I used to do back in the olden days. Yeah, I still think that Anakin should have been on a card back before anything with that. I got a little bit frustrated with that repack wave that had the peasant Anakin, the random Queen Amidala in it, and I think that should have been they should have pulled those figures from the 3 3/4 Black series where they had Episode 2 Anakin, Episode 2 Padme. You could have repainted a TIE fighter pilot to be like a elite squad, the Battlefront 2, whatever they were called, blanking, and it should have been a Geonosis battle droid instead of a Phantom Menace one. That you could have had a new card. It would have been awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, that's what we're going to talk about later. I know that we've got different mixes of things that we collect, but one of the things on the agenda is stuff that should I read it now? Should I go through this? In fact, no, actually, BOE, we haven't introduced you, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, BOE, and how far back do you go back in the old farts club, as Flyguy puts it. I love that.
Well, I'm coming up for 12 years, so in July it'll be 12 years. So I've told you my story before on other channels, so I mean on other live streams. So I mean, Flyguy, I was subscribed to you since then, so I've been a big fan of yours since back in the 2009. As soon as I've got a laptop, Sith Lord 229, all those early channels that some have gone now, like Mad Robar, Laugh It Up Fuzzballs, someone just mentioned. So Darth Phoenix, I used to comment a lot on your videos, so I'm sure you remember.
Yeah.
Vulcanic's Playground, definitely sub to you as well. So a lot of legends here. Force with Jesse. I remember that top 20 video because I made the top 20 video in response to that. So yeah, that was quite an influential video back in the day. So yeah,
that still gets comments every now and then there today. Like,
yeah, I mean it still comes up in searches quite often as in the top of searches. So yeah, but I mean I'm sort of. A lot of vintage, the original vintage, a lot of graded stuff, a lot of the vintage collection, a lot of modern stuff as well. The odd legacy collection figure, the Power of the Force 2, and all that sort of stuff. So, I've got that sort of variety, I guess you'd say.
Cool. Well, we're going to talk about that later, actually. I know we've got a different mix of stuff we collect now, 6-inch and 3 3/4, but one of the things is going to be, top 5 TVC cards for the future, cards and figures in 3 3/4 inch, or you could chuck in a Black Series request. Also, I was going to talk to you, speaking of which, somebody said earlier about Laughing at Fuzzball 70. What YouTubers you remember from back in the day and the ones that have just sort of disappeared? Do we know where they are now? There's a ton of people that, I wonder where they have gone. Maybe fellas, I don't know. Also, mixing up the scales. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah. eBay misses is always a good thing to talk about because it's something that is in our lives all the time. Your horror stories, if you want to share that with us, fellas. And by the way, for the top 5 TVC cards for the future and figures, it's specific to the category. I'll tell you now so you can think about it. 1 OT, 1 prequel, 1 sequel, 1 Mando, and then one Legends or anything else you want to see. But I thought maybe it'd be interesting to bring Legends in since the Gaming Greats thing is happening now, and there's scope to bring in some good characters from there. And I think that's about it, really. So yeah. Well, again, thank you for joining us, fellas. It's awesome. So have we all had a crack at introducing? I've lost track. Crap host. There was a guy in the chat before, Muzzer, being rude and offensive. I know who that is. It's a friend of mine, so ignore his comments. His derogatory comments. I put him on a time. I've never done this before. I put him on a timeout, and then he's back again, so I've just blocked him now. So, Muzzer, I'll have a word with you later, mate. You're not bad. Excuse me. Shouldn't swear, sorry. Right. So, let's talk about your best videos, fellas. Your most successful videos, then. Should we start with you, Steve?
Oh,
you're on the spot. I'm so sorry. I'm putting you totally on the spot.
No, not at all. Actually, I do remember. I know what it is. It's really bizarre. It's not a TVC. It's not a figure. It's a Darth Maul lightsaber. I think Tony, you were talking about Sith videos earlier on, and there's this obsession between guys, younger guys, older guys, whatever. It's all about the Sith. Personally, I think they're a bunch of. Anyway, not nice people. But it was a Darth Maul lightsaber blade. Hasbro had sent along or something. I was just having some real fun with it. My wife was just saying, for God's sake, will you stop, smashing things around in the house? And so I was just having really fun with this thing and recorded the video. And to this day, that's like just huge. I don't know why people loved it, but they loved it. It's one of those cheap role play things, it's like the blade, all the little chunky bits. It's not like a Force FX thing or something cool. But that's the one of all the crap. That's the one. So there you go.
That's amazing. What about you, Tony? What's your most successful, popular, most viewed video to date?
I don't know. It's definitely something Sith. I did have one that got a lot of views, but I got annoyed with the comments. It was my top 10 rarest figures. It was a TVC, and it was my collection. It wasn't like overall, but that one got a ton of views, but so many just trolls on it. It just annoyed me to get so many annoying comments. So I took it down. So, I mean, that was a few years back. Who knows if that would have still happened had I left it up. But a lot of my Sith 3 3/4-inch figures and some of my Lego figures where I showed off my Lego collection, those not TVC related or action figure related, but a lot of my Lego videos where I show off the collection, my top 10 Star Wars sets, stuff like that, those got quite a bit. But I don't know. I have to look back and see which one my most popular one is.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really good. And yeah. So, what about you, Joe?
Mine's the turbo tank and the ATTE review.
Oh wow!
I don't know why that one got so much. It was pretty weird.
Yeah. This is. I didn't say this before, or did I? I can't remember. This is the video. I'm sorry. The character, the figure that made me find you, Joe, in the first place.
I love that
figure. Isn't it so underrated that,
It is. It's so underrated. It's a really, really good figure. I wish they would actually do that one in TVC, to be honest.
I mean, what do you fellas think about that? Because you see people might see things differently, or people do see things differently. You might not think that looks like Hayden Christensen, but for me, the hair just sets it off, and it's just him.
It's one of the best figures that I don't own yet.
Same.
You can be expensive. But yeah, they've just never ever produced that again. I mean, I love the figure because he's expanded universe, obviously, in a way. I consider that what he would look like if he hadn't burnt in the lava, if he defeated Obi-Wan. Because he'd come back, he'd probably dress in black. It's just, look at the cloak. It's just Vader, isn't it? Human Vader, no mask. Anyway. Cool. All right, Jesse. So most successful videos.
Most of them are my sort of room tours that I sort of do once a year, maybe occasionally twice a year. They're the ones that sort of really grab people, but it's still one that gets the most views is from 2014, so it's a little bit dated now. But the second most video is that top 20 that you mentioned earlier, and that still gets comments today from. I occasionally get a comment on it from people asking why I haven't included figures that have come out since the video dropped. I mean, just check the timestamp on the video, guys, and that might explain it, because it's quite a few years ago now. I think I've just brought it up on my page. That was from February 2013, so it's been a long time.
I'm going to jump in there, Jesse, before we go to BOE. I've got to say my most successful video to date is when I compared the Legacy Collection Vulcan, the big one, to the New Galaxy's Edge one. And what happened was, at the time, my phone broke. The camera was I don't know what happened to it. The main camera died, but the widescreen one worked. So I thought, well, I'll still go ahead and do the video. But it's like that panoramic thing, and it's fisheye or whatever. And even though I pinned the comment saying, be aware that I used a wide angle lens for this, and the two cockpits of the two Falcons may seem a little bit different, like force perspective. The Legacy Collection one looks tiny. The cockpit and the Galaxy's Edge one looks huge. And the amount of comments I get saying, they're not the same. The cockpits are different sizes. It's the wrong scale. It's funny that, even though you pinned it and then that's the first thing people see, but that's my fault for, uploading a video which wasn't, physically accurate in a way. But, but anyway, that's my most viewed video. 25, I don't know, thousands, something like that. Anyway. And BOE then. What have you got?
2010. In 2010, I went to Tesco's and picked up the Captain Rex helmet by Hasbro and reviewed that. I was giving it to my nephew, and that video has done really. It's always been high up on my channel. That's my biggest video. So it was about an 8-9 minute video. So, and he also had that laser rifle as well, the Clone Trooper rifle. So I reviewed that in the same video, and that's done really well. Second to those would be I think I made a video comparing the titaniums to the Hot Wheels little ships, and that's done quite well. So
yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's weird how it all sort of runs. Yeah, algorithms and stuff. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, BOE.
I mean, because sometimes I'll show like an original 1978 12 back, and that will get about 100 views. So it's all, you can't really put. To me, that's a rare, and it is a rare thing. But you know, if you review a Hot Wheels which costs £3, that's going to get the up to 1,000 views or 1,000 plus. You know, you can't really predict what's going to be successful, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? You know, you can make a lot of effort on a video and it doesn't go anywhere, and then you can just do something random and it does really well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, few more people in the chat there. Hello, good evening, Gary Moore, Collector 1970, Justin Toller. Or is it? I don't know how you pronounce that name. Justin Toller. Is that right? Justin Toller. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Wicked, brilliant stuff. Okay, cool, man. So, should we talk about channels of yesteryear? People, I'll give you a bit of think time now, or maybe you've already had to think about it. You know, people that we used to watch or remember, or you were on live streams with, or whatever, that no longer exist. May I go first? I'll go first, fellas. I hope I'm very conscious of this because I don't want to take something that's already been you've got in your head or whatever. It's a nightmare when somebody takes your choice. But what was his name? Supreme Obliterator. Who remembers Supreme Obliterator?
Yeah,
I do.
And I'm going to do a quick impression, if you don't mind. I think the guy is an absolute legend. It's so intense. I loved that guy.
Can you bring that energy? Let's see if you can do it.
Let's see if I can do that.
He was intense.
Hello there, Star Wars action figure collectors. Welcome to another figure review. And now we have another figure, which is a repack from the Legacy Collection 2012. And it's just absolutely relentless. He was a machine. Where is he now, though, man? He hasn't uploaded for 8-9 years now. Amazing.
He was from Alaska, wasn't he? Because he had a sort of accent.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And he wore a hat like Jesse has on right now.
He did.
What year was he?
What year? I'd say. Yes,
20 years.
I'd say one of the last videos he made was when they were talking about J.J. Abrams potentially directing The Force Awakens. That's how long ago he last uploaded. Which is ages.
Yeah, it's 2012, 13.
Yeah, but he was just great. He was a big, Sith and Empire fan, I believe. Much like yourself, Flyguy. I know that you're a Clones fan. Am I right? You're Stormtrooper guy, and you got a Sith man next to you, Darth Phoenix. You're the Sith guy. So you we've all got our favorites and whatnot. But yeah, no, he was definitely well into the Empire. But yeah, no, it's just no longer here. But it's sad, isn't it? You just know where would you ever find them again? You'd have to wait for them either to come back or know them personally to make other contact with them. Okay, anyone else that we remember? Jump in, fellas.
I remember MG Villain was one of my good friends, and I miss his channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
MG Villain, Matawaba, and the Budget Jedi. I still keep contact with all three of them. On my Facebook and everything. So.
Manny's the meme king. Manny's the meme king.
Yes, he is. He's on to something else now. I do miss his Star Wars reviews. He had a good humor about it. It was fun to get a good laugh while watching his reviews.
Hello, Star Wars action figure collectors. He was great, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I did reach out to Manny. I think he's just a bit tied up at the minute, but I'd love to get him back on. I'm sure he'll make a return. Who knows, man? Yeah. Cool, man. Darth Phoenix.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Sith Lord, you guys mentioned. I remember watching Flyguy, Jesse, Nabil. I remember Nabil. I forget the numbers behind his name.
Yeah.
He was one of the first early ones I watched.
From the Wolfpack podcast.
Yes, off the Wolfpack.
Bill,
But is he still around though? I thought those guys were still around. I was thinking mainly more of the people defunct, no longer operating almost,
They're
or maybe they are. I don't know.
A couple of them are. It's Kessel run now. Corey, who is a good friend of mine.
He's still going.
Yeah, he's still going strong with that. Everybody else is pretty. I haven't seen or heard from or on any kind of social media at all. Mad Woba, of course, Laugh It Up, Buzzball, Budget Jedi. Mad Woba's on Facebook. It's nice to talk to him on there once in a while. I haven't talked to Ed or any of those guys. Mike Rendar. I don't know why I forgot his YouTube name on here. Because I remember watching quite his few things as well. But I can't remember what his YouTube name was. That's what he is on Instagram. And then the old school has been around forever. Now I'm blanking. Dioramas, 3 3/4 inch. Power. What is it?
Power of the Force 2.
Force 2,
Force 2. I mean, he's been around forever, it seems like, as well. And just, we never talked to him or anything, but I just enjoyed watching his videos back in the day with all the little dioramas he would set up.
That's another name, filmmaker Mike. Has he been mentioned already tonight?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know the full story there, but I believe he was hacked or something. Do you know about that one, Jess?
He did. He got hacked and lost his channel, but he started another one. And he's doing his own sort of weekly podcast with a bunch of guys now. A lot of just sort of pop culture stuff. He still does these little toy runs and toy videos and stuff. So yeah, he's still doing his thing. He didn't let the whole hacking of the channel get him down and pull him out of it. He's always been pretty consistent.
If you make an arsenal of videos and a body of work, to see it all disappear must be bloody heartbreaking. But still, Flyguy, man.
Yeah, look, I think you guys have covered most. You talked about Budget Jedi, Jesse's channel as well when he started. Some other ones that pretty much. One guy that got me, not so much Star Wars, although he did a lot of Star Wars, but predominantly that time, 3.75 was Iron Man figures as well. And he did a lot more then, was a guy called FX Franz.
You had him on recently.
Yeah, he's kind of morphed into a channel more about Transformers for Shefatron. But he's just a great reviewer. And if you go back and look at some of his stuff on FX Franz, he did a lot of 3.75 reviews. But he was one of the first guys to get stuff because he was in the Philippines. And he would get it really quick. He would get a lot of stuff. If I mentioned the name Tung Hori on eBay.
I always think of him when I think of Tung Hori, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of bunch of people who were able to get stuff really quickly, and a lot of stuff never came to the UK when I was there. All changed.
Yeah, I actually got a comment on my 4K subscriber video a couple of months ago from Laugh It Up Fuzzball. So he's still around. Oh, wow. He still drops a happy birthday on Facebook every year when my birthday comes around. So
that's great.
He's still around. RF Biker Scout. He's probably one that.
Man, yes.
He kicked off sort of Star Wars live streams. Really, that was one of the very early ones that was quite consistent and having a sort of rotating roster of guests. So.
Boshet 71, that was another one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Boshet, is that right?
Yep.
But he's still around. He's still around on Instagram. But he was around when I came on. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. He's still, I've seen him in my comment. Sorry, Jess. Sorry.
That's right. He was one of the most famous YouTubers without ever putting out a video.
Yeah.
Only commented.
Yeah.
That's right.
True.
I've got a question here, actually. So, this is interesting. This is Smuggler's Canyon, a.k.a. Christian, a.k.a. Nerf Herder, a.k.a. Seamoles, a.k.a. I don't think that's as far as we've gone with his pseudonyms. Question for TGE panel. What the hell's the TGE panel? I'm joking, of course. It's a typing error. How did you guys?
I was trying to come up with a anagram for it.
Oh shit, man! Sugar man, I should have waited a little longer. So, how do we all feel about the death of the movie line?
Is it?
I think it. Yeah, I don't know. I think particularly with Rise of Skywalker, I think they pulled the pin too early. I know, like, the most recent couple of movies beforehand didn't really sell super well. I think they sold well, but there was a lot of extra peg warmers that just didn't hit the same as
Another
Force
legend
Awakens.
in the chat there.
Yeah,
Malcolm, hi man.
G'day, Malcolm. But yeah, I think Rise of Skywalker was definitely underserved in terms of, you know, even if it was a 5 POA line, just finish it up and just then move on. But it just, yeah. No, it was up to people to collect them, but they could have just scaled back the numbers a little bit and not go as hard as they did with TFA.
Yeah.
The way I saw it was that the movie line, you know, things like the Legacy Collection, you know, they reached a peak in figure production. Then they moved it back to the 5 POA thing. The very early sort of 5 POA, just before Force Awakens, were terrible. The figures, the Saga Legends line and the Rebels line and stuff like that were. Well, actually, no, some of them were very good. Actually, I tell a lie. I brought this one out before, Steve. Flyguy, I know that you know this figure. This is the 5 POA AT-AT driver, which is seriously good figure. And I was really had my fingers crossed that Hasbro would give us that articulated on a vintage card back. That was 4 years ago that I wanted that to happen, but it still hasn't happened. But we can live in hope.
I think there's a big. I've talked about this before, but I think there's something that we're beginning to see, and it was Lego that talked about this in a press release a while back, and they said the words, "We can't always release what we want to release," which tells you a little bit more about Lucasfilm and how they decree what stuff and what kind of stuff can come out. So there's we all think, oh, Hasbro, why can't you release X, Y, and Z and this great character? Basically, Lucasfilm holds the reins and decides, yeah, we approve that. No, we want to hold that to this release or to this game. Or so there's something in that mix that's not all Hasbro, because I think if they had their way, they'd release toys endlessly. So yeah.
That's an interesting point. Anyway, go on, sorry, BBOE.
If you compare it to like 2008-9, when the heyday of collecting, you had such a variety of figures with the Legacy collection onto the early vintage collection. I mean, and in a way, we're in our minds, we're still wanting that because they were putting out so many figures and in sort of in low numbers, really, because if you look at that concept or Jaina Solo and what was the other one? The Solo Twins. Those were so hard to find back in the day, whereas in the more recent time, they've just stuck with a fewer characters and just put them out in massive numbers. And we saw the results in the Entertainer when they were just peg warming for £3.33 and still not selling. And if you still go into the Entertainer, they're still there now at £5 each. So, you know, it's that sort of, I think that's sort of left a bad, I don't know, taste in the retailers' mouths, really. So
I think distribution comes into that too. I think the way they distribute stuff, like I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been into an Entertainer in the past too, and I'm like, how is this crap here when it's not the other side of the world or it's not in the States or what? It's like it's very bizarre the way they distribute stuff, and it's a bit odd.
Yeah. Can I just go back to the channels that we remember? Because Collector 1970s mentioned Commander Bakar 198. He was a great channel because his reviews of the vintage collection back in 2010, 11, 12 were so tight and so well done. You know, they were like 5 minutes and he'd just very detailed reviews of the figures. Other channels I really related with were RF Biker Scout. He got me on his live streams and stuff like that. So you saw that live stream when the guy was making all those funny noises. And all that
the one that got hacked.
Yeah.
That was outrageous. I didn't realize that was possible. That was on, what was that, Google Hangouts, and you could get people just diving in like that. My God.
I didn't have a clue what's going on. Mad
it went on for about half an hour though, didn't it, BOE?
Yeah. Obviously I had longer hair then. Mad Robar, Filmmaker Mike, those channels, Budget Jedi, because he talked about my channel back in those days. Laugh It Up Fuzzball, he was another great vintage collection reviewer. Another one you haven't mentioned but was quite a channel that was I really liked because he did vintage and the modern stuff was Micah 6v8.
Yeah,
that was a great channel. And then I've got one more. I can't read my writing though. Nabil, obviously, and then Star Destroyer 48. He's been around since I've been on YouTube.
That rings a bell.
And he's still he's still going. He always says at the end of the video, "Commander, prepare my ship," and you know. But he's been going on since I've been on YouTube. So
I remember random people. It's just a random one now. There was a guy called Force Droid something or other, like a number. And then I watched his video. He had like all of the Phantom Menace line, all 12 of the wave, and he just showed them. And you know, when you're anticipating figures and stuff, you always watch videos and maybe just get a taste of what you're about to receive. But like when I was waiting for Cody, I was watching your video, Steve. But yeah, no, that's just another one. It's just a random person disappeared into the ether, really. But anyway, yeah.
Star Wars fan Tommy.
Yeah, that's another one.
Tommy's still doing his thing.
Yeah, that's right.
And our Trooper Mark was one of the ones that I used to watch quite a bit. He did quite a few people on here back in the day. He stopped a few years ago. He's still on Facebook and whatnot. And then of course Tommy's still doing his thing on YouTube. He kind of came back a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So let's go around. Let's find out what your favorite characters are, if you don't mind answering that one, and maybe we could tie that into figures maybe that you want as well in whatever line you wish. 6 inch, 3 3/4 inch. Okay, who would like to go first on that one? Favorite Star Wars characters. I can always almost preempt what everyone's going to say on that one from what I know about you already.
Kick off yourself, Nick. Go for it.
Let him guess. Let him guess each one of us and see if he's right.
I haven't even thought about this myself. I've just sort of thrown it out there as something to talk about. I do want to talk about what, it's a tricky one, this one, because, we don't all collect TVC. In fact, Steve Flyguy, what have you got behind you there, man? It's catching my eye, man.
Geez, 6 inch 40th anniversary cards.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Cool. And just a random pile of crap. All these shells are getting ripped out soon, and I'm trying to tidy them up a little bit. But I've got like you a lot of carded stuff that I want to put in there, but I just Well,
here's a question. Here's a question for all of you, right? What do you feel about mixing the scales? Because speaking of 6 inch, right, this was a really awesome piece. I'm glad I got that. And obviously inside the figure, the Luke Skywalker just shows you how good the 6 inch line is to get a human to look as good as that. I mean, they're doing a decent job in 3 3/4 inch. They're doing really good. The quality is good, but you can't knock. That's just fantastic. It's just Mark Hamill in there, And I've heard that is apparently the best they've ever made, ever. But do you mix the scales, fellas? Or because personally, I hate it when I've got, say, all 3 in the loose room, all 3 3/4 inch. If I have like a 6 inch snow speeder in there, it just throws everything off balance.
I don't mix the scales. I display all mine separately on different sides of the room. But I always remember like when Hasbro first announced 6 inch line back in 2013, and I was like, nah, not touching it. Can't do it. Not going to do it. I can't do both.
That's what I thought.
Like, 200 or 300 Black Series figures in, and it's just I'm a lost cause.
I didn't believe you, Jesse, when you said you weren't going to. He's going to jump in there. Watch. As soon as that first wave was announced, I wanted it because I always told myself I don't collect Marvel Legends or anything like that. But I kept telling myself, why don't they do this with Star Wars? When is Star Wars going to jump into the 6 inch line? And as soon as they announced it, I'm like, yeah, I'm all on board. And too bad they didn't do like a build-up droid kind of thing, or how they do the bath with the Marvel Legends. That would have been great had they taken that idea. But I was all in. I don't mix them either. I've got most of my 6 inch displayed now. I actually have 3 3/4 inch. Most of it's in storage, but I'm gonna bring it out this summer because I just miss seeing it. And I want that would be my return video, maybe just kind of going through the process of it, but I do want to bring it out of storage because I made room for Lego and 6 inch, and now I'm going to put away some Lego and take out the 3 3/4 inch line, separate, of course, from the 6 inch. It has to be separate, in my opinion.
I mix them a little bit. I've got Black Series up there. I've got 3.75 odds and ends there, plus a bit of Black Series there, like this one. And then in the bathroom, I've got the 3.75 basic figures there.
in your bathroom.
Yeah, on the.
Oh yeah, I heard about this on Salacious Rooms.
on the shelf, above the door. So yeah, they're pretty. I mean, they're just cheap figures I pick up and just open. So just for reviews and stuff. So yeah.
Rubber ducky, you're the one. It's like you got a porg in there, maybe, but floating around in the bathtub.
I mean, Salacious Ron was interested in which figure I took into the shower, and I told him it was Director Krennic, and he doesn't enjoy it very much.
I know that was so random when you said him. I mean, if you had like a Luke X-wing, you could have that in the shower. I'm sure when I was a kid, I took a Luke X-wing in the shower. Reenacted the sinking. We'll never get it out now.
I've got the movie. I've got the movie Heroes. Luke Snowspeeder with the string on with the little backpack. That's about 2013 figure, hanging on a lamp.
Sponges are wrapped. Very good. Who else takes figures into the shower and bath? Then anyone?
I don't think my wife would like that.
What about you?
I took the Rebel Transport into the shower because I found one last year just before Christmas, and it needed a good cleaning. I mean, I found a Rebel Transport, vintage 1982-83 Rebel Transport in someone's garbage in quite a well-to-do part of London, and so I quickly grabbed a carrier bag, stuck it in my bag, and took it home.
How bad was the yellow in there? Did it need any peroxide? That toy colloid treatment.
It needs it, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, put it in a fish tank, maybe.
I think what they've done with it, because the inside is a piece of cardboard, it was all covered in dirt and mud, and they must have been using it in the garden or something. So then they decided to, and it was pretty complete as well. I've only needed to buy a couple of parts for it. So
yeah.
Is
there Shabby there? Hi, Shabby.
Hi, Shabby.
Yeah, Shabs.
Yeah, hey. And then so Joe, Vulcanic man, I only really know about your 3 3/4 inch collection. What other stuff are you collecting, man?
I got some 6-inch. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got some 6-inch. I'm very selective with it though, because I've already filled up 2 rooms full of 3 3/4 stuff. So I really don't have more room to start doing the 6-inch stuff. So I can't imagine having the same amount of collection with 6-inch as I do 3 3/4. It'd be insane. So, but I do pick out my favorite ones, of course.
See,
I collect a lot of toys other than Star Wars too. So.
Oh yeah, what have you got going on? What else?
I collect like the Inhumanoids, and I collect He-Man. I collect just old stuff. Shimra dinosaurs and stuff, Chinosaurs and stuff. That I had when I was a kid. I have a lot of stuff like Buck Rogers, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
I have all the stuff from the 70s and stuff. So
yeah,
I do as well.
But, yeah, Vintage Toy Rush last night. BOE that he's got a wide range of stuff that he collects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the Battlestar Galactica figures, Black Hole figures, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, Black Hole's awesome.
Yeah, I love Black Hole.
Star Wars is my passion. I put Star Wars first all the time, but I still have to collect some of the old stuff that I had when I was a kid and stuff like that.
Yeah, me too.
I've just remembered. Let's get back on the thing. That's funny how we digress, but who cares, man? It's just an open chat, isn't it? We were talking about favorite characters, and then I can't remember where we finished on that one, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to ask Flyguy because I know the answer, but it might have changed. I don't know. Favorite character, Steve, Flyguy.
I think you can guess.
I know that.
All the way go with it. So yeah, magical figure. Just that little mystery figure that was coming from the Empire Strikes Back, and we got it in a poly bag. If anyone remembers in the UK. So that was it. So mentally affected from there.
And what were your thoughts on Boba Fett in Mando?
Oh, I can believe they were bringing it back. So good on Dave Filoni and others for doing that. But why did it take so long?
You enjoyed it. It was good for you because I consider you like a top fan of Fett, and opinions differ. You might have thought, it's not working or whatever.
No, I'd rather be back than not. and just for long enough. And look, we could debate this forever, but the prequel sequel trilogies went in one direction, but I'm kind of like, you had something and you could have built upon this, and you just shoved it to the corner. So
yeah. Exactly.
But I think they're doing that now. They're beginning to. We're going to get Knights of the Old Republic shows. We're going to get prequel stuff. We're getting Bad Batch. They're beginning to be a little bit more fair to every franchise, if you want to call it that, or every line. So Fett all the way.
And he did well, didn't he? Tam Morrison, Tamora Morrison. He really did. For a man of his age, whatever age he is, he must be 60 now, maybe up to 60. I don't know, but he was amazing. And everything, the kneecap thing, the when he punched that, well, he shot the guy off and whatever, and rangefinder, awesome. They've got to bring that figure out. The Nomad is coming out though. That's right, in 6-inch.
Yeah, exactly. He is 16 years old.
That's awesome. That tell
watching
you one
him
thing.
smash stormtrooper helmets with that sand people weapon was just very satisfying.
Yeah, tell you what, that 6-inch line, the pipeline for the 6-inch, they said that just before the TVC pipeline, but that blew me away. Every single figure that they announced for 6-inch, I just thought, my God, that's awesome. I'd be tempted to get him, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Really good. Anyway, that's cool. Yeah, so that's obviously Boba Fett. He's going strong still. It's good to see him in that role. And yeah, Jesse, go on. Who's your favorite character? Don't think I know this.
Oh, I've got two. I would love to see them bring into Vintage Collection. Obviously, Quinlan Voss is one. I've got the Clone Wars version right here.
Cool.
I'd love to see that sort of outfit. I did a custom based using a couple of different Quinlan Vosses. I know we had that one from Phantom Menace back in 2012, 2011. But yeah, I'd love to see something a little bit more Clone Wars inspired. And also Plo Koon. He needs a TVC figure.
Yeah, man.
Got the animated one here. So yeah, probably those two. Those two have probably been my top wanted. Aside from Sliced Noodles.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I just like the weird and the wonderful.
So do you not really dig Jedi, Steve? I can't remember exactly what your thoughts were on.
Like I said, again, it's subjective to everybody. Do you like tea? Do you like coffee? As is Jedi, kind of like, they just seem like a bunch of wussies. I don't know. They all run about with their swords, and I'm like, shut up. So, not a big fan. Some are, don't get me wrong, some Jedi that they show in are pretty cool, but yeah, no, not really. Not a Sith fan or Jedi fan, personally.
Yeah. That reminds me of a line from Tarkin in the Clone Wars, the Citadel episode in season 3, when he's talking to Anakin, actually, and you can see them having this like little rapport, which is ironic because obviously, Vader and Tarkin in episode 4 and all that. But he said something like, this is exactly the reason why peacekeepers shouldn't be running a war. And he goes, well, my thoughts on the Jedi have actually dwindled as well, whatever he says to him. But it's true, isn't it? They're so limited in what they can do. There's no, you need the attack of the Sith or whatever, well, army, whatever, but still. They are peacekeepers. Anyway, awesome. So where are we up to there? So Joe Vulcanic, man. Your favorite Star Wars character? Any figures that you want to see released in any line you wish?
I would love to see more of the generals released from the Clone Wars, like General Pong and that spider guy, the shark general. With so many great generals in the Clone Wars that they never ever released any figures for them. That would be great. My favorites, though, out of like Star Wars, is I'm more into like droids and Jabba's aliens and troopers, of course.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tired of Luke, Han, and Leia, C3. And I mean, I got millions of them. I got an army of Lukes that I don't know what to do with.
Don't talk to Blacked Out Ewoks about that. That's his 3 favorite. Han, Luke, Leia. So.
I love them to death. I got so many of them now. Like I literally got boxes full of Luke, Han, Chewie, and Leia.
But what is the definitive farm boy Luke? This is the big thing I want to see them do. Definitive Luke farm boy 3 3/4 inch, man. It's got to be. They're so close to do it, and they could do it now.
Definitely.
It's just when are they going to do that? But anyway. So yeah. Oh, sorry, Tony. What's your favorite character?
Can you guess?
Well, it's a Sith Lord.
Kind of.
I know it's not Dooku. I know you don't like Dooku.
I know one of them's Ventress.
One of them is Ventress. I would probably say Ventress is probably my. It goes back and forth, but I would say probably she's at number 1 right now. It's Boba Fett. That was what got me into Star Wars. Just seeing Boba Fett and his armor, I was like, I want to watch whatever this guy's in. And he was my favorite for the longest. And then Maul's up there. I love Darth Maul.
Yeah.
I mean, as much hate as Phantom Menace gets, not so much recently after the sequel trilogy was released, but you know, I love Maul, and that's why Phantom Menace is my favorite prequel trilogy film. And Ventress. I mean, I've just always loved Ventress ever since she debuted in the Glendy Tartakovsky Clone Wars from back in the day, and just the way they've handled her character ever since. So I would love to see more Ventress because we've got plenty of Maul and Boba. So, you know, in the 3 3/4 inch line, I would like to see the 6-inch. That's somewhere in my room right now. Scale down the 3 3/4 inch, release that TVC line, and her bounty hunter outfit. That, you know, where more so Dark Disciple, where she has the hair. I would love to see that, you know, in any line, but definitely 3 3/4 inch line. I would love to see her in that uniform as well. So, you know, but I'd be happy with any. I mean, she's had so many iconic looks over the years. You know, the more the better. I mean, all we've gotten is Clone Wars animated series Ventress, and I think we only got 1, and then we got a few back in the day. You know, based on that the Clone Wars show. So more Ventress.
We have the Mythos statue on display at work, and I'd love to scale that down to like 6 inch or 3 3/4 inch scale because that thing is just beautiful.
It is. It's gorgeous.
I find myself just working and I'll just stop and stare at it for 5 minutes.
I would put that in the bathroom. Maybe right between the sinks, you know? I don't think my wife would mind that one too much. It is a gorgeous statue.
I'd love to see some more Savage Opress too. He was so underrated.
Yeah.
So underrated. He could have been so powerful if he had someone that would taught him correctly. He would have been a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. That's season 3. I got really excited when they brought back, you know, Maul originally because, you know, it was about Savage Opress, and then when he went back to Dathomir, I think they showed him a vision or something in a cauldron or something because they're witches, aren't they? And you saw Maul's face, and I was like really excited. But then another part of me thought, well, it's like bringing back, you know, it's like this soap opera thing, isn't it? You know, Dirty Den coming back in EastEnders and stuff. And back from the dead. It's, you know, he should have been. I know he was a great character and everything, but he died, didn't he? Or looked like he died. How he survived that is unbelievable, really. But they could have almost made more of Savage Opress, made a new character, and then he could have been the thing that drove the Clone Wars because he became almost a different character. Sam Witwer voiced him, didn't he? Kenobi. Yeah. And it could have just been Savage, all of that.
If you go through the death toll, I mean, he really killed more Jedi than anyone. There's like videos on YouTube that show all the Jedi that he had, you know, slaughtered. And I don't think there's any other Sith or a bad guy in Star Wars that actually defeated, that you saw in film, kill more Jedi than Savage Opress.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
Bloody hell. I did not know that. Fact of the day there.
Yeah, check it out there. They got a lot of videos of his death count.
Wow. Yeah.
What if he gave all the lightsabers to Grievous? And Grievous took credit for it.
Yeah, Grievous probably did get more, but they didn't show it. They didn't show it like in the Clone Wars. Yeah. He definitely probably ended up having more than him, but just they didn't show it. I'd love to see him the Spider Maul too. Would have been a great figure.
Oh yeah, like freaky, yeah. With the weird like grown horns and
Admiral Trench is probably one of my most wanted too. Star Wars Spider-Man.
That noise he made whenever he talked.
Creepy.
Awesome. I was going to say something else there. I can't think what I was going to say there, just off the back of the way. Sorry, I'm not a very good host.
You're a great host.
We need to hear from Blacked Out Ewoks.
Okay.
Yeah, BOE. Yeah, come on, man.
Well, Volcanic's Playground just told my 3. But it's the original 3 1978 Luke Skywalker farm boy, Han Solo, and the Princess Leia with the buns. Those 3 are the figures that we had as children, and the attachment to those, the sentimentality, and you know, the first figure I ever bought on a Palatoy card was the Han Solo. So that's the for 99p, you know, back in the day.
Amazing.
Those figures for me are just they're just take me back to a halcyon time, you know, when we were kids, and in those days you couldn't really see Star Wars often, so it was playing with the figures as a child, that sort of connection, that sort of you know, looking forward to going to the local toy shop, buying a figure with your pocket money once a week, you know, and the use of your imagination in those days, because there was no video games or anything like that. It was just so much. So it's got such an attachment to that.
The nostalgia is awesome.
Yeah, that's why those 3 figures are my favorites.
Yeah, I love the original vintage figures. All of them have such nostalgia to them, and it's so great looking back at them. I still have Star Wars on Betamax, believe it or not.
Wow.
You know, before VHS.
Nice.
Wow.
That's cool.
There's a few people firing in the chat now, some TVC characters that they'd like to see. Garindan was on there. What I'd like to do now is, if we go around the horn, we'll do our top 5 now, fellas. If we want to, you know, you don't have to stick to 3 3/4 inch. You can fire out any scale you want. You know, something that we want from. We'll stick to these parameters. We'll do, you know, one original trilogy to start with. And should I go first? Why not? Just start things going. So, one original trilogy character that I want for TVC 3 3/4 inch scale, because, you know, we need the figure. I'm going to show him again now. This is the one now. This is the best they've made. Sculpt wise was just incredible. Look at that. And that amazing 6-inch figure they did of this as well was just what they need to do. And I've got a question for you all, really. Does it follow that if they, you know, do tooling and molds for 6-inch, that it's, well, I suppose it is easier, I suppose, is it to make it in 3 3/4 inch, or does it not necessarily do anything to transfer the, you know, speed up the likelihood that you'll get it in the other scale?
I think nowadays they do. I think when they make the assets, the color swatches, the sketches, the designs, I think from a cost perspective, they do look at it from making a scale and then downgrading it for a potential 3.75. But you know, I don't know 100%, but it would make sense to do so, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
you know, but they're quite different. Even like the 6-inch Boba Fett we got recently and the 3.75 Return of the Jedi Fett, they're quite different. So it's not really the same assets. So, you know, who knows?
I was going to say, I bet you dig that. I can't remember if I've seen your review on that. The new Boba Fett, the Return of the Jedi one, Blue Sky.
It was really good. Yeah, I think they did a good job. A lot of people hated the helmet, but I have no issue with it whatsoever. A little heat up with the hairdryer, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
I had no problem.
I think they put a lot of love into it. I think you can see that with some figures when they really, there's been a passion for it. They've designed it so well. They've sculpted it well. But like that one, that driver in 6-inch and in 3.75 was, man, it was just a great figure to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's another good thing about this one here, this Saga Legends line one. They wouldn't have to do much. They just need, they could kit bash it, couldn't they? They could have the head of this with, I suppose, I think it was the Saga Collection one was, that might have had swivel here, though, but they could work around that. That would be an easy fix, but it's almost there, isn't it? It's just pop it all together and print it up and redo that card back. But yeah, the new Boba Fett, going back to that, was the it's a shame. Just one thing about the fact that you couldn't do that, you couldn't have the rangefinder, but you know, can't all be perfect, can it? And it doesn't really, it's not going to keep me awake at night, the fact that it doesn't have that.
I agree.
It's the only thing really. Okay, cool. So yeah, so mine would be the AT-AT driver anyway. This is what I really want them to do. In 3 3/4 inch, and just bring that back, that classic car back. Empire Strikes Back, unbelievable. And it's just got a little bit of bias, sentimental value with that one. So it's one of the first ever figures I ever got as a kid. Let's go round clockwise then. So Jesse, you are up, man.
I haven't thought of one yet, so can we?
Okay, we can bypass you. Yeah, we'll come back to you. BOE. Think car back and think figure, you know, or both.
Amon, I think. On the Return of the Jedi card. So that would be a great one to do.
Great idea. Yeah.
I mean, the Power of the Jedi figure is great. So, I mean, it just needs a bit more articulation and, you know, 3.75 would be amazing.
And you got Owen and Baru, or what, the corpse with it, because he drags it around, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's a tracker, isn't he?
Skeleton heads, the bounty hunter.
And a little Salacious Crumb as well, which is a good one. It's like properly scaled.
Yeah. I mean, that's the power of the Jedi. Yeah. But I mean, that on they could use the same image they used on the original 85 card. So it would look pretty sweet.
So that's a good call, man. And the card back, it was a standard 3 3/4-inch card back they brought it out on, right? Or did it come in a box back in the 80s?
It came on the Power of the Force card with the coin and the Tri logo.
Because I had that as a kid, so I presume I would have had that on Tri logo. I would have got no living memory of the packaging. I would have been about 4 or 5 years old when I got that.
Yeah, I most likely the Tri logo, which is probably the harder one to find, really.
And I suppose the bubble would have been massive as well, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, on the Tri logo card, that one's always crushed.
Yeah,
because it's such a big bubble, because it's such a big figure.
Mm-hmm. Let's go south now to Steve, flyguy.net.
Wow. So probably the one thing I'm looking forward to on a 6-inch card would be Captain Fordo.
Oh,
the Arc Trooper, the expanded universe one that came with 2 different helmets.
Yeah.
That was the one of the best.
That was the toy porn. That was the first time I ever heard you say that phrase.
That was. It still is to this day. But that on a 6-inch card, and actually just released the damn thing in 3.75 because everybody wants it.
Yeah.
They can make a wave of that card and it would still sell.
Absolutely.
But they don't. So don't know what's going on, Hasbro.
Do you know what, Steve? That's probably still today one of my favorite figures in 3 3/4-inch, and a lot of other people. And it's ironic because it's like that new Fett. You can't do that with the rangefinder. But it's funny that the new Arc Trooper 3-pack. I don't know if you got hold of that or not, but they do have articulatable, if that's a word, rangefinders. They look really fragile, but obviously they're just on a shelf, well out the way of any damage. But they are epic, but I wish they'd done that with the effect we've talked about, and obviously they could do that maybe with Fordo and make him absolutely bang on. That's up to them. That's up to them.
The ones I'm looking for, and it's loads of other stuff as well. Like just they'll get to vintage stuff like the Death Star droid, BOE mentioned the Pallet Toy, which just takes me back, man.
Yeah.
So seeing classic characters like that, the Death Star droid, which is a really easy one to just knock out. It's not a complex figure, but just we're still waiting, 40 years later or whatever. So,
cool, man. Cool, and Darth Phoenix, man.
So, in regards to the OT, the one that keeps popping up in my head is Simalu. He's just a creepy-looking old dude. He himself could be sick, but it's just. I've always loved his design and just the way he looks, and it's just let's get Simalu back in the vintage collection, hopefully sooner or later.
Is that an Imperial dignitary? Who is that?
Yeah,
yes, it's the pasty guy with the blue and red outfit. It's always near Palpatine, and you'll recognize him as soon as he pops up there for you. But he's just one of my favorite background characters. I don't even think he says anything, if I remember correctly. He just would love to see him. Just a
how'd you spell his name?
SIM, and then space ALOO.
Oh, ALOO. I put OU at the end.
Yeah, and it kind of goes over the
I got something completely different on this. Oh yeah, it's him. I thought it was him with the kind of not Fez, but you know what I mean.
Just a random character I would love to see.
It looks like he should be in the birdcage, man. the nightclub, the birdcage.
Yeah.
And welcome to the birdcage. Anyway,
that's what I got.
Yeah, he's expensive in any kind of, I think even the modern ones of him are really expensive. That's one, Daniel Chart. I know you're in the chat. That's one I need to get hold of. Any Imperial dignitary, I'm sort of on the hunt for, really. But that's cool. And who was the guy in Rogue One? He was pretty good as well. Was he supposed to be something to do with those guys? That my lord, Director Krennic has arrived. I loved him. Very little screen time, but he was just all over the camera kind of thing. He was just brilliant. whoever he was, I liked him as a character. But anyway, let's go down to. We'll come back to you in a minute then, Jess. You're giving you extra think time. But Vulcanic, Joe Vulcanic.
I'd love to see more of like Jabba's minions that redone, like the elephant dude, and there was a couple I mentioned in your last ones. I can't remember their name right now offhand. The bigger figures. God, I can't remember his name right now.
Epont Mon, Hermie Otto.
Oh yeah.
Quill. The one that kind of the furry. They're both like furry. They're big. I can't remember.
Or Jaquil or
Jaquil. Yeah. I'd love to see those redone. Even Sly Moore too. They haven't really made Sly Moore in a long time.
Sly Moore, yeah. That's that one that's like Ventress, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jay really Quill, who's that one? I know the name. I can't think who that is.
He's a yak-looking dude. He almost looks. He's more of a yak face than yak face.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean that guy who R2 spills the drinks on, and he kind of does that?
There's two of them. They both came out in the Saga lines, Tanis Spyjack or something like that, and Jaquil. And they're really expensive now because they've got very similar bodies. One's breasted, the other isn't, and they've got masks, faces that look like something from Space 1999. So, very 70s looking outfits.
So I'm sorry I'm not very good at doing this multitasking. I'm terrible. Plus, I am actually drinking a beer here, which is probably a bad mix. I shouldn't. I don't usually do that, to be honest. But it's only one beer, but still. Thanks so much, Rooster77, if you're enjoying self-indulgence. Very conscious on that. I just seem to waffle on, but then you can't help but not waffle when you stood in front of a load of figures like that. But yeah, thanks a lot if you're watching that series. I'm going to do a few more. Maybe I might do Rebels and Solo, and then the Rogue One stuff, and then I've done the whole room, and then I'll do it again when I've got new stuff and stuff. But anyway, what's this now? Darth Wiz. Oh, hey there, man. By the way, no, yeah. Don't drink and host. And also, who else did I see there? Erin Dury. Nice. Oh yeah, Jay Quill. Yeah, I'm gonna have a little type on Google for that one.
There it is.
I just can't picture it. So it's J' Quill, right? Okay, I'll look at that. And then Jesse, man, I think we're on to you, man.
Yeah, I think along the same lines as that Sith Trooper that came out, there was like a deluxe version that came with a bunch of weapons. But go with the modal nodes, the Cantina band.
Oh, nice.
Put out a new mold, give him all the instruments so you can buy 6 of them or 7 of them, however many you think is in the scene, because I know that changes a little bit. But I reckon Cantina band would be a really cool looking vintage card. You could just put the whole band on the card.
If they did do a Cantina set, that would be just the perfect packing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Fantastic.
But you've just got the set in the tin, didn't you? You got the Cantina band in the tin,
I did. Yeah, I can't remember how much it cost now. I got it from America. I think it was 70 all in with the import. So, I mean, if you divide it by the figures, it works out okay.
It's not too bad.
Not too bad. Except you got it for. What did you get it for in the Forbidden Planet, BOE?
About £14.
14.
Sick bags, please. Yeah, no, only joking. You do well, man. You do well.
How many of the modal nodes were in that pack? Was it 6 or 7?
5.
Only 5. Oh.
So does anybody know the 2 that were in the 30th anniversary? Were they the other 2 members? Because there's 7 in the band, isn't there?
Yeah. Someone did a video about them, and it says there's 7 in there.
So are those 2 the other 7 that are the other 2 that aren't packed in the tin though, or are they repacks of some in the tin? If somebody knows that in the chat, let us know, or if someone might know here.
I got them all, but I can't remember. I know that one has soft goods and one doesn't. So
yeah, one of them was the base. They all use the same base figure, but the other one came out, and that was for the Jabba's band, or Max Rebo band was one of them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've got him. That's that's Barkwin down, isn't it? It's figuring down.
Yes. And just blanking on the name.
Yeah, it's just one on his own. He's like a cousin or something, maybe uncle or something like that, related to figuring down. But he's cool.
That's Gives a Dan.
Yeah, I like that. Can we think of any more? Any more? Oh, I haven't got anything ready for that. Very good. All right, fellas. So prequel trilogy. Anyone want anything from the prequel trilogy at all?
I'm gonna go Dooku.
Yeah, Dooku. Yeah.
Card. That was actually really good. I do like Dooku, and I would like to see him on the VC card for sure.
Yeah, it'd be a toss up between Dooku and a vintage card or a 6-inch Quinlan Voss for me.
Ooh, yeah. The Han Solo of the Jedi Order. So that's one for you, Steve, there, maybe. Yeah, more so than the others.
For me, definitely Cody on a 6-inch card, because just porn, basically, toy porn. And re-release the damn vintage card, because it's just, it's gold again. Loads of people will pay a fortune to get that Commander Cody on a TVC card. So,
yeah, awesome.
Dead easy, money on the shelf. So
yeah, absolutely, man. That's anyone else? Just chip in if you've got one, and we'll move on to another.
TC14, either Black Series or Vintage Collection, or Captain Panaka. Captain Panaka. Someone talked
Vac
about
metalized BOE.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, I doubt if they'd do it Vac metalized, but it'd be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Imagine that. But hang on a minute, didn't the Disney store do a Vac metal one of her, or am I just dreaming that up? I'm sure they did.
Possibly.
It looked really shiny, whatever they did.
I mean, the episode 1 figure's great, though. I mean, this needs a bit of tweaking with the sculpt.
Yeah. No, it's great. I got that recently. I got the TC14 from Phantom Menace line. That's a really good figure. Limited. The face isn't very good, actually. Unfortunately, but still,
that needs improving.
I was going through a Vac metal period, and you can't beat that shine, man. It's just unbelievably good. All done with the prequels. Any others? Just jump in if you've got one. I think we've said them all. Well, I just wanted Dooku, really. That's my main one. Most definitely.
Arc Trooper Jesse in 6-inch as well, just for reasons.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen anyway, because they've just done that Echo, so it's gonna. All the Arc Troopers are gonna come out now, I think.
Cool. And sequel trilogy. So this new announcement from Yak Face, and I did a video earlier. I just thought I'd throw it in and do it quickly, and then I had this nasty thought, because somebody did put in the comments. They said, "Oh, it could be the Tross, Emperor." Which, to be honest with you, as a figure, I think that would look really cool, and a card back would be good. When he did suck the life force and he became momentarily or whatever, like the Emperor of old, I quite enjoyed seeing Ian McDermott like that again, but. I really do hope it is the Return of the Jedi one in 3 3/4 inch. I know you've had it in 6-inch, but anyway, I'm a bit nervous now. It's a bit like the Bib Fortuna situation when they said we've been dreaming for Bib Fortuna, and then we had this nasty thought after the Mandalorian we're going to get the fat Bib, and it's like why would they do that before the other one? But they might do. So so that's my sequel. No, it's not. I thought I'd put that out there anyway. Let's talk about sequel characters you want, but. That was a thought I had today. Maybe potentially they would do that, but I don't know. Is it going to be the Return of the Jedi one? I hope so.
Should be.
Yeah, that's okay then. So, any sequel characters you would like to see done?
Ben Solo for me, I think, is that's highly sought after by a lot of people. In 6-inch or 3 3/4 inch, I think that would be one that people want to see more of.
Yeah. I said last time we did a stream, I said that guy Lo Santeca, because it's that old man thing, it's quite cool, very original trilogy, him, and background character, I'd like to know more about his story, he must have a backstory there. Anyone else?
Poe, Rise of Skywalker.
The tricky one.
Poe, Poe, Rise of Skywalker. That outfit. So Poe Dameron. So
you mean the Indiana Jones thing?
Yeah, the Indiana Jones. I want Indiana Jones outfit. He's one of the few characters I do really like, and would like to get him in that outfit. The VC card would be nice.
Okay, cool, man. No.
There's this huge alien in the what's it, The Force Awakens. He's sitting in the chair when they go to Maz Kanata's castle. He's quite impressive looking figure. So that character, I don't know his name, but
you mean the when the girl sort of whispers to him, like, you know,
he looks like a boss.
He's got that Jabba vibe, hasn't he? Just like,
and he's like
big
sitting
guy,
like that. Yeah,
and he just goes,
yeah,
can't be arsed moving, kind of thing.
Yeah,
doesn't have to move, you know, like Jabba.
That's a cool character.
Yeah, that's cool. What about you, Steve, man?
I'm struggling.
I love this.
I'm struggling to both give a and you know, probably Poe as well. That's a lazy one to say, but they've never ever done a good Poe Dameron. So I think they owe it to Poe Dameron as one of the core characters to just come on, man, fix that stuff. He's appalling in every scale, in every version. 5 POE, 3.75, 6-inch. Titan, they screwed up. I mean, they just it's atrocious what they did with Poe Dameron. So I would be on the phone having words if I was that actor. Like, what are you doing to my face?
Does he have an easy face? Only one, do you think? Does he have an easy face to? And because I've heard you talk about that, some people just have easy faces to sculpt and whatnot. Do you think Poe does it?
I don't know what it is, but he's one of the most screwed up characters in the line. When you hold him, like, it's just like continuously bad across the line. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cheating guy who's at the school playground or church, you know. It's just not right. That's a good one because a lot of the eyes were kind of like a little bit.
Yeah, I know. It was shocking.
Yeah.
So
put the helmet on.
Yeah, exactly. It looks good with the helmet on.
You see, I think they messed up. I really like that. I mean, I liked that card.
It's a nice card.
Right, actually.
But that figure was always should have been on a bloody Force Awakens card. In fact, that I've got a big beef with the Black Series 3 3/4-inch line because that totally pulled away a total load of potential card backs from Vintage Collection. You know, be it the orange, the blue, and then the red box mini like versions of the 6-inch ones. But you know, they did what they did because they obviously had a movie coming out and it was Rise of Skywalker. But you know, that X-Wing Poe, I always wanted to see. You know, you can just imagine the card back. You know, him in the cockpit like you first saw him in the trailer. It would have been an epic card back. You know, and then, you know, Darth Phoenix would have got his Indiana Jones then maybe on a Rise of Skywalker card. So it's all a bit out of sync, isn't it? You know? But anyway, that's just the way it is. Yeah, Steve, without going down on a tangent of if we do or don't like the sequels, I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you what your thoughts on it or whatever. I think we're getting a sense of that. But I remember back when The Force Awakens came out and I was dazzled by the headlights. I loved it or whatever. But I always remember the Wolfpack podcast. You were the one guy who was sort of, you know, about, you know, your thoughts on it. And I could sort of sense that maybe, but now when I go back to it all, my whole opinion of the whole thing, just because of the thread that I felt the story went, I felt it was all a little bit of a mess overall. So my thoughts even on The Force Awakens now have changed greatly.
It's not to bash it. I certainly am not one of these psychopaths that, you know, like picked on Rose and, you know, death threats. I'm not in the crazy.
No.
But again, it's like, you like coffees, you like tea, whatever. You don't have to all love the same thing. It's
exactly.
Okay to have a choice. But
there's parts we all like. It's like pizza. You might not like it.
Sure,
dodge the anchovies, and then you can enjoy the rest. Yeah.
There's something about it, and it's not to say that the original trilogy is better or has some scale or so. It's just, yeah, I think history will prove that the sequel trilogy is possibly not as good as it could have been. I think they could have done a lot better. They could have spent more time.
Became apparent about for even people who like it or whatever. I'm sure there can be no discrepancy on the fact that the plan went a little bit off the. I don't know. I can't sense that there was an actual definitive plan all the way. But then one could argue the original trilogy changed. You know, the plans of George or whatever. But I think he always had a roadmap. You know. I think they were just drawing it as they went with that. I don't know, but anyway, that's that. Let's leave it at that. As what you said was perfect, Steve. You know, we can't all like the same thing and blah blah.
Exactly.
Sensitive subject. Well, hang on. We've got this guy. Well, there you go. He likes the 229.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's like if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And again, I think even Jesse, you and I talked about this before in the past. You kind of grew up kind of Phantom Menace time. That was your younger years. My younger years were Empire and stuff like that. So you just, it's what you love as a kid, or that organic collection he was talking about, Master of the Universe and Buck Rogers. I remember that too.
Nostalgia plays a big part.
Yeah, it would be really
absolutely
dishwater if we all liked the same thing at the same time.
So with me, with the original films and the new films, the one thing that stands out to me, it wasn't the storyline, it wasn't all that stuff, it was the inventions that was put into the very first three. You know what I mean? The first Empire and Return of the Jedi and stuff. They literally invented THX sound. They invented, Photoshop. They invented all this stuff. And I remember being a kid looking at my black and white TV, watching The Land of the Lost and Buck Rogers and all the stuff. And it was really horrible. And then all of a sudden going to the theater and was my first movie seeing Star Wars, and it blew my mind away. I never saw or heard anything like it in my entire life. And it changed film forever. I mean, all the films after that, went towards that. So, to me, it was always that. I knew Disney wasn't going to be able to pull that off, that many new inventions and stuff. So, but I think it's a good fan film,
Yeah, absolutely. Rebrand needed for you here, Stephen, at niceguy.net. Look at this comment here.
Hey. Checks in the mail. So,
but you can still be Fly, right? You can still be Fly. but not nice. All right, cool. All right, so I think that's enough of that. So let's talk about Legends then. So that's really good. It's piping hot now because of the whole Gaming Greats thing. Really exciting. They've announced the I got myself another Malgus recently. A bit crazy because I realized it's crazy this. I was speaking to Tim from Bosk's Bounty about why we do this, but it's almost like scratching an itch, and now I'm closing the book on a few variants and this, and I've always wanted the card of him with the never before seen as an action movie figure or whatever it's called, the the one I mean. It's on this 1 second, let's shake this off the wall. It's crazy. I've just spent £90 on a Malgus, which is way more than I got. This Malgus I have in my hand here was £20, man. So why am I spending an additional 70 on getting him again just for the sake of having a sticker on the bubble? Insane. But anyway, I've done that. But still, what's interesting is the fact that I wondered if they would ever re-release the Republic Trooper, the old Republic Trooper, with an expanded universe card, given that's now defunct. But apparently it's going to be on just a Star Wars card, which is fantastic in a way because you can't go wrong with that chase. But it is sad that expanded universe stopped because there was a ton of characters like Darth Plagueis and even what was she called now?
Bastilla Shan?
No, Mara Jade. I'm sorry, Mara Jade never got saw that card back. She never got onto the line, but lots to be pointing out. But anyway, so whatever. In 6-inch, 3 3/4 inch, you're seeing all these. The space for Legends, isn't there, of yesteryear? And they don't have to be canon. Am I right on that? Like, who was that pilot again? That was Jaina Solo. She's Legends, isn't she?
She's Legends.
Yeah.
Jaina Solo and Jason Solo.
So let's go around the table and talk about Legends characters that you'd like to see. I'll kick things off, and it's always been for me Dash Rendar. Love that game. Shadows of the Empire.
Great game.
Boba Fett's in it. The Emperor. Is it Xizor? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Xizor. Yeah.
That's awesome. The politics between and the tension between Vader and the Emperor and him. But anyway, Dash Rendar, the only time you've ever had him as a figure, he was on steroids, Power of the Force 2, 95. And he'd look so great if you could make a figure as good as the 3 3/4 inch Bosk or something like that, But would they ever do that? I don't know, but I'd love them to do that. That's my wish list. Dash Rendar.
I don't think Disney wants to pay the old comic people.
Say that again.
I said I don't think Disney wants to pay out any money to any of the old writers or comic people. They're trying to redo everything on their own, it seems like.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Yeah, there's a big to-do right now with that guy who wrote the what's that book called?
Shadowpoint, I think, or was it?
Yeah, the original the original sequel to the Star Wars, isn't it? That guy.
Timothy Zahn. Timothy Zahn?
No, Splinter of the Mind's Eye
That's what I'm thinking of.
Alan Dean Foster.
That's the one.
Because he shadow wrote the original novelization.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a case going on right now, or it's been settled or what, but I'm sure there was some to do with him and Disney.
Yeah,
with money.
He wasn't getting his royalties, was he?
That's right. Yeah.
It amazes me Disney can do something like that. They have such talented people working that could work for them, but they chose not to. You know.
Yeah. And O.K. not sure about the novels and what's happened. It's crazy that all that. That's. She wouldn't know about the novelizations, or I don't know if that was a misquote, or I don't know. But anyway, any Legends characters then, fellas, that we would like to see? Let's just imagine that they would do it.
There's a number of characters that would come to mind, but the way I'd like to see more of is having each wherever the character comes from in terms of the property be the title on the card, as opposed to just putting on a Star Wars card. I think good example was Hondo Ohnaka that came out last year. That would have been cool to see him on a Galaxy's Edge titled card. Dr. Aphra being Dr. Aphra sort of comic card, and then use those properties to sort of, I don't know, you see a figure in a store and say you come across Jason Jaina Solo, comes up New Jedi Order, then you can link them to the books, then you got people going and buying the old books, and
I
don't know, I think it just pulls people in a better way rather than just it's Star Wars and you got to kind of explain and work out where they're from,
or Jesse, either that or they do something about putting information on the back of cards again. Like they don't do that no more. Like they could do that on the back. They could have like information about where it's from, like they did this.
Yeah,
but that
was nice. Yeah, that was really good.
And they could do that for the games. I think they have the emblem of the game, don't they, now in TVC? He's down the floor somewhere, the new gaming greats for TVC, but that's not good enough. They could put a bit more on the back, maybe.
My choice is sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I think a big factor is these days is cost. It's when you look at Hasbro's profits over the last couple of years, especially during COVID, I think they kind of panicked a bit when their profits sank like 70%, as a lot of companies did. I think they've tightened the reins on stuff from the really flimsy cards on the TVC since the relaunch, which hopefully they redo. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the Marvel Legends 5 PoE retro figures.
Yeah. They're solid card stock, man.
Isn't it? It's like rocks.
Yeah. You could wave out a fire with one of those.
Exactly. So, exactly. It's such a good card.
It's the same company.
Like cardboard again. So, yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's all about cardboard. Trust me. So, yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Anyway, so who was your character?
I was going to say Lumaya, from the Marvel 80s run. She's fights Luke Skywalker, so quite a cool character. Yeah, I think they have done her. I think they have done her though in the 2 packs. So, but she could be redone.
I'd go with
what era was that? Sorry.
08, 09. But what timeline
against Luke in the
it would have been sort of between after A New Hope, just after A New Hope, before Empire Strikes Back, or just after Empire Strikes Back. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was after Return of the Jedi.
I think you know mine. Only one. Exar Kun.
Oh man, yeah, that's a holy grail.
I got 3 of those, 3 sealed and 1 opened.
Oh my god.
And I'd love to see like the Joker Squad, the Delta, Omega, all those all redone again. It would be nice. There were so many really good figures. Those comic packs are my favorite out of all the lines. I love comic packs. They've always been my favorite. And then next up would be Builder Droids, the bad figures.
Yeah.
Those were really great line, which is Jaina Solo, and all that.
Yeah. I've got a mate who drove me to watch The Rise of Skywalker, actually, and in the car he just came out with it. We were talking about Star Wars, obviously, on the way to see the film, and then he was telling me he knows all about Exar Kun or whatever, and he has all the comics and stuff like that. And I couldn't believe firstly he knew all about that, especially because I knew nothing about like all those comics or whatever. But yeah, that comic pack, man, that's awesome. That figure is amazing. but that's a holy grail item in my mind.
Who knows? You might be getting it soon. So.
Oh wow, we'll have to talk business, Joe, man. That'll be awesome, man. Yeah.
Well, I've been trying to figure out what to do with my collection. Actually, I'd love to ask all you guys about it because we collect for so long and stuff. And some of you already know that I got stage 4 cancer, and the biggest thing on my mind is what do I do with all my stuff? You know what I mean? I never made a plan for if you pass away quick or go. My family they don't know nothing about Star Wars. They're not going to know whether Luke with brown hair or Luke with blonde hair or this or that. They'll get robbed if they try to sell it. So I've been struggling to try to figure out, do you have any like backup plans for if something happens to you in case of emergency or something? What happens to your collection when you're gone? Well,
it's one of the biggest arguments for grading, isn't it? So that you've got everything categorized and classified, but firstly, Joe, we're so sorry about what you're going through and everything. We're all with you.
That's the reason I haven't posted a video in so long. It started like 2 years ago. I started feeling sick and went to the doctor trying to figure out what it was, and then after a year they found out, and then I fought and I beat the cancer. I had lung cancer in one spot and I beat it, and then a couple months after I beat it, it came back in my bones and stuff. So now I've been fighting that forever. So, but it's a tough when you're collecting because it's really hard to let go of the stuff that you've collected your whole life, and gives me this whole different outlook on collecting now. Is like, was it worth it? Why did I do it? And, where is it going to go? Or, how to get rid of it, Because I don't have the strength to go on eBay and sell it piece by piece anymore and stuff like that. And then I keep saying to myself, what happens if I beat it, then I don't want to sell it and then beat it and then have nothing, you know what I mean? So that's like, do I wait until, after I'm gone? It's real. It messes with your head a lot being a collector and then finding out you could pass away. So.
I think God, this is going to get really dark and depressing. I don't mean it to be. It's just back to life. We, things happen, but my folks died maybe a year and a half ago. And cleaning out their house, you suddenly realize the amount of crap we all collect and figures. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Who's going to know what a Luke brown hair and a Luke dark hair, whatever, light hair? So yeah, it is definitely a challenge and issue. But I think that brought it home to me that I had to get rid of some crap, and I got rid of some crap, and I got rid of tons of vintage toys because it kind of dawned on me that I could not collect every single TVC figure, and nor did I want to, nor could I display it. So I kind of had to thin out, and I've been kind of doing that a lot since then. So sometimes giving your stuff away is not the worst thing in the world. Selling it. It's not the worst thing either, but yeah, giving it to people. I gave a bunch of stuff to collector, and he thought it was Christmas, times 10. And I'm like, I don't need it. Extras, just take it. He was into it. So you can't take it with you, so you might as well get rid of some of it.
Yeah,
so,
I always have a fear the family's going to take it to a pawn shop to get off.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest worry. That's the thing about the grading thing. That's that guy, Jeff Jacobs or whatever. He just made the point in his video, at least he knows after he's gone, his wife, she can't be taken advantage of for all that collection.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That is a smart way to do it, but I can't imagine even that would cost me like $1 million to get everything graded that I own.
Yeah, I know. I was having that conversation with Bosk's Bounty the other day, about how much would it cost me to get all of this graded and stuff. But, it's not something I really want to do, but it would look nice, though, I have to say.
It would be beautiful.
And then I'd have to spend hours and hours nailing stuff to the wall. Then I'd have to have shelves in here and then have them all on the shelves or whatever. But oh well.
We have a toy museum in New York. It's called Strong Toy Museum. It's in Rochester, New York. I visited a few times. I got a lot of Star Wars stuff there. I did a couple videos on it. I'm almost thinking about donating it all to the toy museum so the kids can enjoy it, long after I'm gone.
Nice. That's great, man. Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah. Anyway, man,
I've basically told my wife that if anything happens, I'm happy for her to sell everything. Just sell it for more than what I told her I paid for it. That way she can at least get a little bit back. So, but
I don't know if any of you guys ever been to Rancho Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Go if you've never had a chance in your life. Go drop something. Sell
Make
something. But,
yeah, 100%.
That makes you realize exactly, if you've seen it, you're just like, okay, this is a lot of toys. And you know, even listening to Steve talk about it, he can't take it all with him. And what's he going to do? And he was so blasé. He was going behind counters and saying, oh, look at this one here. And it's like a 1977 Palatoy figure. Not in a case, might I add.
Yeah.
It's just on the shelves.
What?
So you went there, didn't you? You've been there, have you? Well, obviously you've been there.
Yeah, ages ago, like 4 or 5 years ago or something, we went.
Did you ever make a video or anything out of that?
Did I what?
Did you ever make a video or anything out of that?
Yeah, no. I was thinking about it. I was
so wrapped up in the moment, don't you? You just sort of focused on what's going on. Yeah, I went in 2017 after Celebration in Orlando.
Yeah, I remember Thingy did a video on it. What's he called now? Hello, Galaxy! What's that guy called? Chris Perillo.
Him.
He did a video. He went there, but I'd love to go to Rancho Obi-Wan. I love that guy. I've seen a few videos, and every tour seems different. But then he'll just throw a random fact. This is the actual same lock of hair, the Princess Leia. It's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Random stuff that he has, man. It's amazing. Yeah, that's cool, man. So we talk about Legends characters. Who hasn't been there on the Legends characters? Is that you, Darth Phoenix? Have you given us?
So no, I'm thinking anything from Knights of the Old Republic seems to be getting some love recently, and in the 6-inch line. So let's get a Revan, let's get Malik, let's get some of those characters. I feel we never got a Scion. That would be cool. Darth Scion from KOTOR 2, and Darth Treya. I think that's how you pronounce her name. The older lady with the lightsabers. So it'd be great. I mean, I really like Legacy, but I don't feel like those characters would get some TVC love, only because comic books and whatnot. But seeing them in the 6-inch line KOTOR characters, we got that Wookiee coming up pretty soon. Zalbar, I forget his name. I can't remember his name. I understand why they're doing it, because it's an easy, strap on an accessory on Chewbacca, and there you go. But maybe some gaming greats. We'll get some newer sculpts down the line. I mean, we got Nihilist, sort of, and
yeah, that's right.
So that'd be great.
You've got your Revan. You need your Malik though.
Yes.
Or did you say Malgus before? Did you say Malik or Malgus?
Malik. I want Darth Malik.
Yeah.
The older figure's nice, except for the swivel elbows. It's a decent figure. The one that came out in the 30th anniversary line.
Oh, he's the one. I hate having to pose him, man. He's a nightmare, isn't he? I have him holding it either the lightsaber like that close to his chest. He looks the best like that, I think, just holding it up like a sword almost. But I've got him here, Revan. Revan got the full hit. You got the full articulation, but not much you can do with him really. He's very statuey, but yeah, no. I thought you were talking 6-inch before when you said about Revan.
No, TVC, please.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that'd be great. But that would be good if they redid him, made something of him like they did for the 6-inch. That would be much better, because it's quite funny. The helmet for this guy looks really reminiscent of Kylo Ren, actually. In fact, when I first saw Kylo Ren in the trailer, I thought, "Oh my god, have I just seen Revan?"
Yep, same here. I thought the same.
Yeah, I was like, "What is that?" But anyway, that helmet there, the visor on that is so like Ren. But then the correct one is that that more Mandalorian type, the visor.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one we got in the 6-inch line is pretty good for the most part.
That would be great if they could shrink that down. That'd be lovely.
There were
rumors. I brought Nihilus here. Sorry, Tony. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I'm terrible for talking over people.
No worries.
I brought him out as well, thinking of you. I've got a whole wall.
He's great. Yeah.
He is amazing. Look at the beautiful tatty.
Yes.
They
did him right. Him and Darth. The Quarren one. Malaval?
Oh, Malaval.
Yeah.
Joker Squad guy.
The Joker Squad that Vulcanic had mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
He was a great figure, too. He is a great figure. He was one of the top 9. And then Crate, all those figures they did for Legacy, that was my Star Wars collection. It was the Legacy collection, which of course it's a vintage collection. But I love most of the figures that were released in the Legacy collection, especially the expanded universe ones and those comic packs that Joe had mentioned. And those are great figures.
Occasionally, Tony, I'll go on eBay and I'll have a look around, because you've got all like probably the most extensive collection of Star Killers going. And that one, I love that one with that sculpted hard goods cape, and he's got red sabers.
The Toys R Us one.
The lights, the light version, or is that the one you mean?
Well, I think he looks like a dark one, or he might be light. It wasn't he a bit of a swinger, like Revan? Revan was a bit of a back and forth.
There's a Toys R Us one.
Oh, the
Toys R Us one with the
it looked like a molded, like a sculpted round, like, hugging his head a bit like the. There's a couple of Phantom Menace figures that do that. Hard goods hoods.
Yes, that's a great one. That's probably my favorite. Well, no, Sis Stalker would be my favorite. Then that would be my second. The Toys R Us one. That's a great figure.
Hello, look at this. We've got some celebrities in the chat here.
The legend.
We've got Sith Lord 229 there. I wouldn't say no to re-release of Stalker figures.
It's fault.
Everything's his fault. Yeah, that's awesome. Good to see you there. And then who else have we got here? Is the building there? There's a shout out from Rooster77. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so those figures, and occasionally I look for them, Tony, and they're ridiculously expensive. Loose and Malavel is one I want as well, just because I've got a Sith collection. Red tattooed Quarrens, awesome.
Yeah,
I'd like to see Mandalore the Indomitable, the old school sort of ancient looking Mandalorian. He's got the sort of purpley red armor. That's a cool looking figure, cool character.
I'm going to be really boring and say Tag and Bink. Legitimate.
Why not?
Who's that, Steve? Sorry.
Stormtroopers. If you've never seen or read the Tag and Bink comics, I think it's only like 2 or 3 of them. They are just hilarious.
Just a couple of bumbling idiots.
Yeah, they're stormtroopers, they're imperial officers, they're rebels, they're Tag and Bink, TAG and Bink. Really good story, really good art as well. So
cool, man. That sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Who hasn't been on this Legends section? And then we'll be calling it a day. I think we've nearly done 2 hours, gentlemen, but it's been an honor and a pleasure, a joy even to have you on. So thanks for your time, fellas. BOE, what would your Legends character be? I'm sure have you gone already? I can't remember.
I said Lemaya from the Marvel comic.
Awesome.
I mean, there's probably quite a lot that you could choose from the Dark Horse line as well of comics, like from the Clone Wars, like Golden Age of Sith, Exar Khan, all the others that. What is his name? O.O.K. Droma. All those characters. So
yeah, that's cool. There's a question here we could all answer just to sort of close things off. So, what would everyone like to see in the next retro collection? Firstly, are we digging the retro collection? Any thoughts on that? I've never really. Oh, we've got shakes of the head from Darth Phoenix 619.
Maybe because I started collecting when I was like 20-something years old. I didn't collect. I didn't get to Star Wars until I was about 18. My first exposure to Star Wars was the re-releases in 97. So when I started collecting like in 2010, I was like, I don't want all these old figures with 5 points of articulation. So to me, it was like all about the modern line. It still is. I mean, they're great. They look great on the card, but yeah, just not my thing in regards to the retro collection.
It's funny, isn't it? The white stuff on the outside. I mean, I actually don't... I say I don't mind it. It's not. I know people really hate it. I can live with it, but I don't understand why they did it really, other than to make it differentiate it from the others. But it should all be one and the same, shouldn't it? Really. Flyguy, what are your thoughts on the retro collection?
I don't know whether you want to know my thoughts on this. I had a couple of ranty posts about it. Number one. Put everything aside, the sticker. They know exactly what they're doing. They make that goddamn sticker completely immovable, but lighter fluid gets it off. And that really annoys me that I have to buy something and put lighter fluid on it to remove it. And my poor wife says, like, what are you doing in there when she hears that? Noise, and I'm taking a sticker and I'm tapping it on the thing to lift it. And she's like, what are you doing? So so that's annoying. But the card back, I think it's just because someone would cause a fuss about, I bought this on eBay and I get stung and then it gets bad press for Disney or something. I think that's why they do it, is just to differentiate. But
yeah,
that's my thoughts.
It's just a big. It's them just punching over the head with the nostalgia, really. But after the Mandalorian wave, I really like those figures. Like I open them all. I'm not going to keep them carded because I think the cards are crap. But yeah, another wave of Mando for me would be cool because I don't know. It just translates well. I think for me personally, I think they just sort of the sort of colors and that sort of thing. It sort of really resonates with that sort of vintage feel. And vintage isn't sort of wholly and solely sacred to me because I didn't grow up with it. So, but yeah, it's cool. Like I don't need to see heaps of it, but every now and then a little bit wouldn't hurt.
Begs the question, what happened to the second wave of wave one, the first 12, not only the technical reasons of not being able to do the not being able to do the vac metal or whatever for R2 and 3PO, but then you're missing out on Kenobi as well. But then Return of the Jedi, I think somebody mentioned that in the comments before, that would be the next thing they would do. But I think the Mando retro stuff, the only good thing could be that it could pull people back into collecting, really,
Yeah.
Hook people in that way. If they like Mandalorian, they see that and then they'll discover the vintage collection and other stuff. I don't know, but still, it's just interesting. It's not stuff I want loose, but I've got it carded because I can add it to this. I was just going to say on stickers though, you can't beat that sticker.
That's a beautiful sticker, and it's removable though.
Yeah.
So
I did actually, Steve. I got it twice there. I had this one. It's just the closest I could get. But I know I'm not saying you don't like Anakin, but I knew you'd like Cody. So
that was a great figure. I love that figure. Yeah.
He's a Jedi. He's a Jedi. But no, that's an awesome sticker. I love that. I was going to do a video on stickers, but yeah, the retro ones are just huge, aren't they? I don't mind stickers on car backs. It gives them a little bit of feature.
It's knowingly done and deliberately done to make it hard to remove, that's not kosher.
Yeah, so, why have they? Why did they do that though? And why did they make it so damn big?
To say they're their retro collection.
Yeah, I think someone will
put it on the
bubble on eBay and someone will be daft enough to buy it.
I mean, I went into I was in Hounslow in 2019 and I went into Asda. They had all 6 of the first wave. I got that feeling that I had in 78. I had to buy them straight away. So there's that nostalgia kick for someone who saw Star Wars in 78. I just had to have them. So yeah.
I don't mind them neither. As for a new collector, point of view, older collector, I can see the frustrations in it. But as for a kid, I mean, those are great to give to a child. They're not going to break them. They're durable figures. They're gonna last the test of time.
Yeah. Sorry about that. The earpiece came up. I just got this recently as well. This is like I've taken my first step into a larger world. This is my first vintage 80s figure.
Nice.
Yeah, reused, but the card isn't that badly yellowed really as well.
No, it's good. That's good.
Not too bad.
That's good.
And currently I have him side by side with the modern TVC reuse. So that's nice.
Yep.
I quite like that. Jeff Jacobs styley.
Yeah.
Having multiple variants next to each other. Yeah. Anyway, that's cool. I just thought I'd share that. But that's the real deal. That's legit.
That's great.
Yeah.
I like that Walrus man you got, Black Out Ewok. I saw that on Instagram.
Oh, great. Because I've just done a video of 4 of those together. So I've just got to edit it.
Oh, nice. I'll be checking that out for sure.
Oh, great.
Okay. What was the last question? We were talking about the retro collection and what we wanted in it. Well, I think we pretty much said all we can say on that, really. Return of the Jedi would be nice, but I'd like to see the Ben Kenobi and all of that lot come out. It would be the Imperial Navy, wouldn't it, as well? Or the Death Squad Commander, or whatever it's called.
Death Squad.
Death Squad.
Chewbacca. Yeah, they did the Chewbacca, sorry. Sam Percy and Jawa. Yeah.
That's right. And you don't want it to be vinyl cape, though, do you? BOE.
I wouldn't mind. That's one figure I don't have. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, fellas, I think we should wrap this up here. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for being on. Should we go around the horn? If you want to just tell us where we can find you. So for Forces with Jesse, if you're not already subscribed to any of these gentlemen, please do check out their content. So Forces with Jesse, how can we find you?
Same tag everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, obviously. yeah, Twitter, it's a little bit different, but I don't use Twitter much. So
yeah, same. Yeah. Okay. BOE.
You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram.
Cool. And Steve?
If you go to flyguytoys.com, you'll see all the links to social and all that stuff there.
Awesome. And Darth Phoenix?
Yeah, you can definitely find my content on YouTube. And like I said, I'm more active on Instagram, and it's Darth Phoenix 619.
Yeah. And are you going to make a return to, when do you think a return to YouTube will be?
I was thinking about this summer. I've been very motivated by everyone. That's all these brand new people now, and then especially with the TVC love that has been shown around all YouTube. So, like I said, I want to bring out my stuff from storage, and then maybe do a couple videos. And I'm off for the next month and a half, so I got the time right now. So that's the plan. That's the plan.
Awesome.
That'd be great.
And finally, Joe from Vulcanic's Playground.
You can find me on YouTube under Vulcanic's Playground and Instagram under Vulcanic's Playground. I am on Twitter, but I don't use Twitter, to be honest.
Cool. And all these fellas, as I say, they've been doing it a lot longer than me, YouTube. And they've got a massive archive of videos and stuff. And go subscribe if you haven't already. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you all. And thank you, Joe, for being on. And stay strong, man. And
yeah, thank you.
And,
thank you for having us.
Anytime you want to do anything like this again, jump in, man. It's always good to talk to you. Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you very much. I have been Only One Kenobi. Do hit the like button if you haven't already. I haven't actually seen any of that activity. It's difficult. It's different on StreamYard, isn't it? Can't see the like-dislike ratio or anything on here. But anyway, hopefully it's more in the favor of this. But anyway.
I'm going to go like it afterwards.
Yeah, man. And especially thank you to the Aussies there, although one is Scottish, for getting up so damn early in the morning. Thanks. I really respect that. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thanks for having us on, and nice to meet everyone.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Until next time, thank you for watching. This has been Only One Kenobi, Only One out.
See you, folks.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.